Riverdale News deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We've provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have 2 new episodes of Riverdale for you.
We do, and we're back.
We're back. We had to take a little break.
We did.
We went on a trip.
Mm-hmm. It was quite nice.
And then we got tired.
Yes, we did. So this is also recording later than we usually do.
So you're getting what you're getting, and we're really sorry.
And you should be thankful.
No, I just said we're
I
really
know.
sorry. You be nice.
I'm joking.
Brenton's in a bad mood because he accidentally made himself decaf instead of regular coffee this morning.
It's been a rough day getting going. I'm like, God, I'm having like a second cup. I usually only have like 1 cup of coffee without getting the shakes. And I'm like, I don't feel awake at all. And then I was like, oh, decaf.
So he's not.
We're going to make it through it.
He's here.
That's right. No, we're ready to go now. I remedied the situation.
So as the caffeine starts to kick in, it might get worse.
Exactly. Might get. But we've got some pretty good episodes, and we could just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We got cast this week. There's someone we mentioned last week that we're going to jump into this week. Guess who it is? Chad Michael Murray.
Woo!
All the millennials go crazy. Woo!
God, he really did age like fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
This man looks amazing now, still.
Absolutely.
If he's had work done, whatever it is, it's tasteful.
Yeah, exactly.
If he hasn't, that's great too. I wouldn't look at him and think he has. You know what I mean? I can't tell. At the way we are in the world right now, when I look at famous people, I'm like, is this good makeup, good lighting, good genetics, or needles?
Yeah, a good doctor.
Exactly. And I don't fucking know.
I mean, yeah. So Chad Michael Murray, well, if for people who need an introduction, has been a heartthrob since he's been on our screens as he was in his late teens, early 20s. It started out as a model, shocking to nobody, but was the lead role in One Tree Hill for, let's see, it went for, from 2003 to 2012. But he left the show in 2009 and came back for the last season, which is wild.
But what was he before One Tree Hill?
Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
As Tristan.
Uh-huh.
He was also on Dawson's Creek, Charlie Todd. And as the Wikipedia noticed, I'm like, oh, thank you for calling this out. Those 3 and Riverdale were all on the same network. So formerly the WB, then the CW.
Basically, this man had one network pick him, and they said, "We'll keep you."
Yeah, absolutely. They're like, we can put you to work. One Tree Hill fans, chime off, and I apologize, I'm going to be a little rude about your show just for a minute. My sister loved this show. It was not a show like Gilmore Girls where I like really paid attention when she was like watching it, because I thought it looked boring as hell. It's like and I think it's maybe just different taste at the time, where here's a drama. It's much more of a like what I picked up just from kind of the outside of looking at it, like a somber teen drama. Like it looked kind of like very straight-laced, like everybody was going to cry in every single scene and just kind of like about these people's lives. And I just thought that looked boring. It also kind of had like that like mid-2000s like brown tone. You know what I mean?
Sepia.
Yeah.
It's got a sepia filter.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. People can chime off. The one thing that I think did look very funny is that clip where the dog steals the heart out of the ice chest and runs away.
I have never seen it.
Yeah.
Not even an episode.
So people can chime in. So it's funny.
Because I was at dance class. I didn't have enough time for television shows. I had one show. I watched Gilmore Girls. Everything else, I watched reruns or I didn't watch it all. Then I watched them when I got older. So I've watched most of Gossip Girl. I watched The Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty Little Liars. I was already in college I was already in college basically when it was really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been out before that though. I might have.
The first season started. You would be a senior, I believe.
Because
it was 2010 to 2017.
Okay, yeah, because I watched that when I was, if you've been around for a while, recovering. I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons while I was recovering from my tonsillectomy at 19. And then I was high on pain meds and scared in the middle of the night.
He's going to come to get her.
Well, then, like, you're 19, so your friends are calling you in the middle of the night when they're, like, leaving parties, and they're drunk, and they're stressed or freaked out, and you're high on drugs, but legally, and you're like, I don't know how to help you.
Just in case.
I can't even find my feet right now. Like,
see, chime in on One Tree Hill out there.
yeah, let us know.
But he was also in, also around this time, A Cinderella Story.
Yes, I love that movie. You've never seen that, huh?
I've seen bits and pieces. Because
Waiting for You is like waiting for rain in the drought.
Okay, see, I don't know.
See, you don't know.
That was not the one. That was not the line that was quoted in our house. It was oh my God, what's her name?
Hilary Duff?
No, who plays her evil stepmom?
Oh, you just made me forget her name.
I know.
You
She's
just made me
super
forget
famous.
her name. Yeah.
Absolute star. Everybody loves her.
She's amazing.
Oh, but her line about getting Botox and she can't frown.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a minute. I gotta look her up.
What is her name?
I can't believe I can't think of her name. This is terrible. And we apologize. We both apologize in advance. Jennifer Coolidge.
Thank you. I was like, but I can see her and I can hear her in my head.
He was also in Fruitvale Station, which is the first big Ryan Coogler movie. And then also Agent Carter as Jack Thompson for 14 episodes. He has a main role in that. So there you go.
There you go.
Chad Michael Murray, everybody. Oh, and the point I actually...
Well, I don't actually know anything about him. Is he a decent human being?
He seems okay. It seems like when he was young, he made some...
young people choices.
It's mostly like if you look at his profile, at least like a cursory look at Wikipedia is like, who is he dating?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he married Sophia Bush when they were like young. On the show at like 22 or something, and they divorced like a year later or something. And the only thing I saw in there was like Sophia Bush being like modern day. It's like, people need to stop asking me about this.
Yeah,
it's like we were young, and this would be like if everybody brought up your high school boyfriend in all your interviews.
Exactly. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. And then the only thing I was like, ooh, that's questionable. He had dated like some 18-year-old model when he was like 24. They were together like 7 years.
Well,
so I don't know. Anyway, but otherwise I didn't see any.
The world was also different then in the ways that people were more accepting of that, not in the ways that they should have been accepting of that. Let me take that back. Like, I don't want people to think that as I spent the last like 6 years being like Ezra Fitz is a pedophile, then I'm like, well, Chad Michael Murray, a real person.
Well, he's okay. Yeah, exactly.
No, but the vibes were different.
Yeah.
They weren't good, but they were different.
Yeah. He's got like 2 kids. He's married now. So I don't know. I didn't do a deep dive on him, so I don't know if there's any like questionable things, but it's not on his Wikipedia.
He's got a really good nose for a man.
Yeah.
Men don't always have great noses. You have a good nose.
Well, thank you very much.
Men don't always have great noses.
Wasn't fishing for it.
He has a really good nose for a man.
And what about me?
I'm like, well, after your, oh God, what do people say that they got instead of a nose job?
Oh, to correct their deviated septum.
Yeah, your deviated septum was fixed,
Right, yeah. I got it exactly. This is my second nose.
No. Your nose is beautiful.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No Chad Michael Murray, but that's all right.
I didn't say he had a better nose than you. I said he had a good nose for a man.
Yeah. Just couldn't move on from that slide without throwing a little thing there. But really quickly, we didn't shout him out last time. But playing Ricky DeSantos in his little orphan newsboy cap there is Nico Bustamante. He's a child actor, so he's only got a couple things. But he was in Gotti, the famous flop on the movie about the real-life mobster starring John Travolta.
I never heard of this.
Oh, yeah. It was infamous flop. He played an orphan on Gotham. And then was a character on like The Late Show, where he was in 3 episodes, one and a few of them as Nico the Kid, and then another time as a Boy Scout. So they probably just used him for different things. But wanted to shout him out. I think he does a really good job.
I don't know if he gives orphan though. He's been cast as an orphan a lot, and I'm like, this kid looks loved. When you can see it in their eyes, this kid looks loved. He doesn't look haunted.
Right. Or maybe he's just that good of an actor.
That's true. Well, but I'm saying like in the scenes, he doesn't look.
No. I get you. All right. Well, that's it for our
I'm not saying he's not a good actor. I didn't want to.
No.
On record talking shit on children.
That's right.
who have way more successful careers than I probably ever will.
Well, I listen to Just King things, and Cameron on there is usually like has a real high bar for child actors. So won't like dig into him too much, but we'll be like, oof.
That's so funny.
Yeah. All right. So, episode for this week, Chapter 52, The Raid. This episode title comes from Gareth Evans' 2011 Indonesian action thriller film of the same name. If you want to see a really good action movie, I mean, if you just want to watch like pure action, like The Raid is amazing. I can't remember. I'll have to look up what the like actual like martial arts are, but it's like so fluid, and the way they capture the camera, like that you can see like every single hit, incredible. But I mean, it's an action movie, so like don't go expecting that there's like some grand plot behind it. It's exactly the plot of this episode, like at least toward the end, the actual raid, where it's police are raiding like a tenement complex, and they try and work their way up, and things go bad, exactly like in this episode. They do a good job of aping it, I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, whatever.
I didn't like the movie.
Yeah. But it's...
Brenton went through a phase where he tried to show me action movies.
like,
and I was like, I don't like action movies. I think they're boring as fuck. If I want to watch people do something impressive with their bodies, I will turn on gymnastics. Like, I'll watch something that's like actually to me, like not saying that this is not like a feat and a talent all in of itself, but it's not interesting to me.
Woman says action movie stars. Yeah, I completely
First
get it.
I've come for children, now I've come for action movies.
Who will think of the martial artists? Both young and old.
Who will think of all these people with money?
But yeah, I mean, exactly that. Like, if you're interested in an action movie, definitely go seek it out. But if not, then yeah, don't delude yourself.
No, and don't watch the movie Sicario.
Oh, that is not an action movie, but that is also
There's a lot
tense.
of action in that movie.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't describe that.
You told me I was going to see a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thriller.
It is a thriller, but like,
but
my
that's
God.
not a thriller. A thriller is like a Gone Girl, like a psychological thriller. I don't think of physical thrillers as thrillers.
I do think it is that.
I'm sure they've categorized it as that, but if you try to describe it to me as a thriller, that is not the right term.
I think it's just
when
more
you pull
intense.
out your Emily dictionary.
Right. I think it's more intense than the average thriller, for sure. Because I think like a lot of like what you're seeing there.
You think?
Yes. But I think it's still a thriller because like a lot of the movie is just like you're just like watching things go on, and you're like, is something gonna happen here?
Something already did happen the entire time.
It's not like nonstop though. I feel like there's a lot of pauses where you're just sitting in suspense.
That's when I would go sit in the hallway and breathe. Yeah. I went to the concession stand, I think 6 times during that movie.
Do you know what the writer of that movie, what show he did?
It's gonna be like a comedy or something. Oh, okay.
No. It's really big though.
Is it still happening?
I don't know. I think so. It's not a show we would watch, but it's like really big.
I don't know.
Yosemite.
I was gonna be like the Big
or
Bang
Yellowstone.
Theory.
Sorry, it's not Yosemite. Can you tell we're from California?
Renaming television shows to match
like
our
Yosemite.
state.
Yeah, that's our spin-off.
Wait, that would be so funny if we had a parody of Yellowstone and it was called Yosemite.
Oh, it'd actually be Jellystone. I think they did make a show, but I can't remember.
Well, Jellystone is where Yogi Bear lives.
I think they did make a show like Jellystone, like semi-recently.
Really?
Yeah, with all the cartoon characters.
No way.
I think so.
And we didn't watch that?
No, I can't remember because I remember hearing about it like once and then I never heard about it again.
Jellystone.
You gonna look it up?
The first thing that came up was Jellystone, Utah. Jellystone 2021. It's an American animated comedy series.
How many seasons?
It's on HBO Max.
It's coming. Isn't that turning back into HBO Max? I think.
Yeah. First season was 21 episodes.
Oh wow.
They did halves of seasons, so there's been 3 seasons.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The most recent have been the second half of season 3 was released on March 6th, 2025.
So it's like still going.
Yeah, and the first half of season 3 was in February 2024. So they're taking a year between half seasons. Why not just call them new seasons?
I mean, that's the Sabrina angle.
I know.
They do part 1, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't have to pay you as much.
I know, it's fucked up.
It's really fucked.
But also, like, they're not like they're paying voice actors. I feel like that's a little different. Like, I guess you have contracts, but I mean, like, in terms of just like, oh, like, you're not paying them as much to be there. I assume you don't get paid as much in voice acting as you do like being there physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Voice actors do not make the same amount.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's on HBO Max.
There you go.
Has anyone watched it? Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
If it's good.
Report in on One Tree Hill and Jellystone.
We're really running the gamut today.
All right, should I get into the recap?
You should.
All right, we hear radio chatter as a bunch of the serpents move through the Riverdale High at night, and they look like they're wearing prep school sweaters. I was like, what is this? And we learn it's a test by the sheriffs. Betty and Veronica hang out. Evelyn comes in with flyers for the farm's open house, and Veronica agrees to go with Betty before she even has to ask.
Okay, wait, sorry. Sicario is an action crime thriller.
Okay, all right. Like, suck it.
Literally.
Another win for Emily. Brenton 0, Emily 500.
And movies are his special thing.
At the Joneses' house, FP says the police found the old trailer burned to a crisp and it was used for drug cooking. Jellybean pulls FP away and Gladys... Drug cooking. Gladys threatens Jughead and he threatens to get her out of town. She doesn't give in and warns him not to cross her. Kevin leads the open house tour at the farm. Betty asks about a certain door, and Kevin's like, well, that's just the janitor's closet. Alice steps out in her TV pastor white pantsuit. We love this look.
We do love this look. I love anytime Alice is wearing like a costume to fit whatever she's currently into. Mm-hmm. So when she was outed as a serpent, her like serpent outfit, when she...
Oh, yeah.
Which, once again, she was outed as a serpent. Like, does nobody remember?
No.
This town must have like something in the water. It makes everyone forget.
Yeah, It was a runoff from the drug cooking.
How soon I forget. What was happening for the last 40 years?
Right. Maybe also they were still doing that.
Or like 20, I guess. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Mm-hmm. They were still cooking drugs. But maybe Clifford was a better keeper of getting rid of the drug runoff. Mm-hmm. Betty speaks to her alone, and Alice gives Betty a brief greeting, and Betty's like, why the cold shoulder? And Alice is like, well, you forsook me. Then a farmy steps out and asks Betty if she's interested in an interview. They now perform interviews inside the old gargoyle lair. Turns out they host a bunch of interviews in there, and Evelyn gives
that room is a lot bigger. Like, it's a different size, I swear to God, every time we see it.
Yeah, it's like way bigger. Evelyn gives her her interview, and she's like, this is only for people who are actually interested in the farm, Betty. She asks a couple probing questions, but then stops the interview and is like, okay, we're all good. Hermione yells at the phone as Veronica comes in, and she's pissed Hiram isn't inviting her to the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the prison because it's going to be public, and she worries that the enemies will find out about the divorce, and without Hiram's protection, she'll be screwed as she's made enemies and is also the wife of a mob boss. Archie and Jughead hang out. Archie gets a call from Juvie, and it's Mad Dog asking for his help. Jughead addresses the serpents and says, we're going to be the unofficial DEA. Woohoo! And he wants to go after the old drug infrastructure. Archie visits Mad Dog. All the prisoners at the juvie are being moved to Hiram's new prison, even though, it's not a juvenile prison. And the guards who ran the Fight Club are going to restart it there, meaning that apparently the Fight Club was stopped at the juvenile center without the Warden Norton leading it. I guess.
Couldn't get the crowd.
Exactly. They didn't have his contacts, and it's like they tried it for a couple times, but it just wasn't the same.
No, they missed him.
Yeah. Veronica visits Archie at his gym, and he asks about stopping the kids being moved, and Veronica's like, we can talk to the governor, who is in town. And then cut to Veronica leading Governor Dooley under false pretenses to talk to Archie, and Archie gets him to listen as he break the story about the prison fight club, and that he had Governor Dooley was in attendance. Veronica wants him to pardon the prisoners. Cheryl meets with Betty to infiltrate the farm. Betty gets her to actually do it for her because Cheryl doesn't want to by saying, doesn't she want to find out why Jason wanted to run away there?
Was Governor Dooley actually there, or were they just using that as like blackmail? Like
it seemed like he was like, okay, you caught me.
Yeah, I thought so too, but then I was like, I don't remember seeing Governor Dooley.
But maybe Archie and Veronica were like, there's a good chance he was there. Evelyn is in the bathroom when she hears crying from a stall and she finds Cheryl upset. And then Cheryl says Tony and her broke up, and Evelyn goes to comfort her, and then cut to Cheryl coming to Betty to tell her that she's in. Sweet Pea visits the comic shop from a couple episodes ago, and he asks for Fizzle Rocks, and the guy gives him some, and Sweet Pea grabs it, and Jughead walks in and is like, this is a bust, where do the drugs come from? And the gargoyles are dealing again, and they're dealing on the street corners, just like The Wire. Betty hooks Cheryl's brooch up with a wire. Apparently Alice had a bunch of this stuff. Great explanation.
Alice was definitely not like the most moral of journalists.
Absolutely not. If there was she's definitionally like an ambulance chaser. Cheryl goes in for her interview while Betty listens, and Edgar comes in to complete the interview. He asks about Jason's passing, her grieving, and she talks about trying to kill herself and seeing Jason under the water and how it changed her. He says she's been baptized and reborn in fire. He says memories can be a path to revival and the farm can help her. Archie catches up with Mad Dog and the boys, now released from prison and pardoned. Archie takes them to the boxing gym as a place for them to stay because they got nowhere to go. Jughead and the Serpents track the gargoyles and move them off street corners around Riverdale. Jughead and the Serpents try to grab some gargoyles and instead mess up the sheriff's department, also trying to do a drug sting. FP rips into Jughead at home when Gladys comes downstairs wondering why they're yelling. She says maybe the deputy program isn't a good idea. And FP says if they do this again, he'll throw them in jail, and Gladys rubs it in Jughead's face. Mad Dog and Archie spar as Elio comes in wanting to get new fighters, but Archie's like, you get out of here, go on. Veronica tells her parents they should see a marriage counselor and threatens to call them Monsignor because, they're Catholic, so they can't divorce. Veronica rips into Hiram for her picking, because for him forcing her to pick the family over Archie. Hiram tells her to accept that the divorce is happening. Cheryl catches up with Betty and says Edgar is really hot. She gives Cheryl a list of questions to ask him. A random girl walks into the bathroom. And Cheryl rips into her and is like, we're having a private conversation. Please leave. A+ for including this in the script. Betty wants to find where the interview tapes are held, and Cheryl says she kind of enjoyed talking to Edgar. Uh-oh. Mad Dog tells Archie, that he found his grandmother and brother, and their apartment has been taken over by guys in weird masks. And Archie's like, we're going to get rid of those gargoyles. Hermione walks into her office and finds 2 dead fish on her desk. She tells Veronica later that someone wants her dead. Archie tells Jughead he cased the apartments and found gargoyles there. Jughead says he'll ask the Serpents to get them out, and Archie's like, well, me and the boys are in too. Cheryl meets with Edgar. Cheryl asks a bunch of questions about the tapes, and Edgar asks why she's so concerned. He says he has something to show Cheryl first, and we don't see what they see, but only Betty's POV as she listens in. They go into some room, but the signal is lost. Betty meets Cheryl at school the next day, and Cheryl didn't return any of Betty's calls, and Cheryl says what she saw was none of Betty's business, and she's done being the mole, and that she's still going to go to the farm. Veronica visits Hiram about the dead fish and says he has to protect her. She says he needs to show up together with Hermione in public. Jughead and Betty have pillow talk about her sneaking into the farm. Hiram, Hermione, and Veronica plus Governor Dooley show up for the prison ribbon-cutting ceremony. Jughead and the boys bust into the apartment building. Now here is the part that's the raid. They case the floors one by one. Jughead enters the top floor alone for some reason. I don't know why. Jughead gets spotted and a gargoyle shoots at him, prompting other gargoyles on other floors coming out and fighting the boys. Jughead gets one down, but then gets cornered until Archie and Mad Dog show up. Archie and Jughead head out while Mad Dog takes on a bunch of them. Archie and Jughead find big shotguns and tons of cooking equipment, drug cooking equipment, in the empty apartment. Not just like pots and pans. Oh my God. Archie goes to look for someone and almost gets shot from behind until Jughead grabs the guy and we see it's Kurtz. They zip tie him and Archie runs back to help Mad Dog. Jughead takes Kurtz down the stairs and Kurtz pushes off the wall and the two of them fall to the ground outside. Kurtz gets up and runs away, and a serpent fangs saw them fall, and the Jughead tells him to get after Kurtz. Veronica comes home to find the Monsignor leaving the Pembroke, and Hiram's like, well, the marriage has been annulled. We're all good. Hiram also calls Veronica...
not how annulments should work.
No, not like this many years later.
I mean, like, I know people have tried to get things annulled. My bio dad wanted to have his marriage with my mother annulled, but my mother said no. She was like, we were married for like, and they'd been together for like 16 years. She's like, that's not annullable.
Hiram also calls Veronica on sending the dead fish. Veronica then has to come to terms with the marriage being over. Jughead sees his mom and yells at her over the gargoyles being armed now. He wants to tell FP, and Gladys says it's just between the two of them. Betty breaks into the farm, and she lockpicks the weird door, which is 317, finds a file room, and hears over the loudspeaker that Cheryl is a new member. Betty looks through the file boxes until she finds one of her family tapes. Archie and Mad Dog decompress, and turns out Baby Teeth is missing after the raid. Mad Dog says Elio has a place on the north side for Mad Dog's family. That makes it sound like Mad Dog refers to himself in the third person. That is just my notes. Mad Dog thanks Archie, even as Archie tries to warn him not to get in league with Elio. Betty brings the tape of Cheryl's interview to her at Thistle House. Cheryl says she's in the farm for Jason, and they let her see him. She got taken to a room, and inside was physically Jason. Betty meets Alice at Pop's, and she asks if she's obsessed with the farm because she can talk with Charles. And Alice says yes, and it's so great being with him. Betty asks to meet Edgar. Cut to Edgar interviewing Betty at the Sisters. He mentions that he could have copies of the tapes or whatever, or have Polly and Allie give testimony again. He asks what she wants to know, and Betty says everything and start from the beginning. One of Archie's boys found a chalice outside of the boxing gym with a G&G card that says, defang a wolf cub, and it has a tooth inside. Archie's like, oh, baby teeth. FP follows a call
Imagine being identifiable by your teeth. Like a lone tooth. Not like, oh, like how your smile looks, but like if someone found one of your tooths and they were like, your tooths, one of your teeth.
Tooths, plural.
I write books. And they were like, oh, that's Emily's tooth. I'd be like, what do you mean?
How do you know that?
How do you know? I don't think I could identify my own tooth. And like, I grind my teeth. Like there's some,
I do brush them every day.
I do brush them every day.
FP follows a call out in the woods and finds a kid, presumably baby teeth, which we do confirm next episode, knelt down in front of a shrine to the Gargoyle King, dead. The end.
Okay. I hope that might have sounded really bad. I hit my ring on the microphone.
It didn't really pick up.
Oh, cool.
I don't think. We'll find out when I listen back.
Yeah, you can cut that part out. So for once, this episode has plot lines that overlap. Like the different people are doing different things and they interconnect. Mm-hmm. I was so excited. I was like, oh, we're actually doing the show now again.
Yeah, when it starts out with Veronica being like, Betty, you don't even need to ask. Like, let's go into Sisters of Quiet Mercy together. It's like, oh, shocker of all shocks.
Okay, but not even that. So also the Jughead and Archie plot line. So we've got Mad Dog and the boys helping with the raid and Mad Dog being involved in that. It's all connected. Yeah. I was like, oh, wow.
We can have separate things, but then bring them together.
So we'll start with that. So it's Jughead versus his mom and Archie and Veronica versus the governor. That's kind of the vibes. But we'll start with Jughead. FP gets mad at his son that he's training to be a cop for trying to be a cop.
Yes. Because he wants him to fall in line. This is just like,
Has FP ever fallen in line?
A little hypocritical, don't you think?
Gladys gave the gargoyles weapons. That's batshit.
Yeah, it's so wild. She's just arming these teenagers to the teeth with like shotguns and all sorts of bullets. Like the fact that they start firing on them, which I mean, okay. To be fair, I feel like they've been getting lucky so far with the types of gangs they've been dealing with that don't have firearms. This is America after all.
Yeah, it is America. It's post, 2004 when assault rifle ban,
And I do want to clarify my statements there. Everybody can get weapons in America is what I'm trying to say. Not just like that thing on like gang violence causes is like rising violence. That's not what I'm trying to say.
These gangs are 90% white boys. This is not real gang representation. We are not watching The Wire. We are not watching any sort of like true drug deal. This is white people telling.
I'm like, I just need to make that clarification because it could be misconstrued.
Jughead is the leader of the gang.
Yeah. Okay.
Jughead Jones, who wants to be a writer and wears a beanie that looks like a crown and eats hamburgers. That's the gang leader. So we're not.
Yeah. But also, yes, Gladys just arming him to the teeth is wild.
It's wild. Also, like, I would never give people who were underneath me weapons. There's more of them than there are of me.
Gladys is unfazed. That's one of the nice things about Gladys, I think, as a villain, is just kind of, she's just kind of like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? Like, that's real redeeming. And I think Gina Gershon is really selling it, even if I don't think like Gladys as a villain is all that developed.
No, and it's not like very compelling because she wasn't around enough.
No,
It's also weird because it's like Jughead's like, I'm gonna tell my dad, and she's like, no, this stays between us. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you listen?
Yeah. You gotta tell her.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
He's literally the sheriff.
Mm-hmm. And she wasn't here as of like
3 weeks ago.
Exactly. You're trying to protect your dad who's like, we're going to have the perfect little family here. You just got to rip that Band-Aid off.
Yeah, the family's not perfect.
No, far from it.
You're going to die of infection if you don't treat that wound.
That's right. That's a good way of putting it.
Thank you.
She writes books, everybody.
It's not a line in any of my books. You're welcome.
But the ability to put together metaphors.
I suppose. Anyway. Yeah, so we got that. Then we got the Archie blackmails the governor, and then Mad Dog and co. all go fight for the apartment complex.
That's right.
And he's like, my grandma and little brother need a better life. So then Elio's given me a house, so I'm going to go be with Elio. Huh? Like, is there no other way to make money? Why would I? So I would think if you were forced to fight in the jail, you wouldn't be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reclaim fighting for myself. Maybe. I mean, that could be like a character's arc, but like all of them are just like, yeah, we're going to keep fighting. I'm like, you would catch me being like, no, thank you.
Right.
And then you got Fangs, who's just fighting for fun. He wasn't in jail.
So I don't know how pardoning works in terms of like, if you are pardoned, does that mean your record is just
I think
erased?
you're cleared of all your crimes.
So they could potentially go work regular jobs.
They're also children. None of them were in jail, I think, for anything that was like that bad.
That's true. So
because they were in juvenile.
Essentially, they should have been turned over to some sort of guardian or... okay.
Unless
so they're just let loose.
Yeah, they just let them free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of plot holes in the Archieverse.
I was thinking they're trying to do something of...
Unless were they all going to be 18s? They're going to be transferred to Hiram's prison? Was that part of it?
No, it was like... Because Archie...
wanted workers.
Yeah, Archie literally, if I remember correctly, he literally goes like, but you aren't... Or like Archie or Mad Dog literally go, but like, we are minors. Mm-hmm. And it's like, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So yeah, your point stands.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is like the sports metaphor for like people that don't like come from like low income areas and families and stuff, where you like take the deal that like insures your things. I think that's what they're trying to do here. Mm-hmm. You know, whether that pays off or not is a whole different story.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's a whatever, like Chekhov's gun kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It'll come back up later, I assume. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, you in the next episode, you're like, maybe that wasn't the best idea because he's literally giving him bath salts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we have Veronica and her family. Her father taught her the importance of family, and then constantly does not believe or practice what he preaches, which is wild because like this man would have gladly killed his wife.
Oh yeah, just because. Well, yeah, Yeah, I think, is essentially trying to. But, like, he's also, even before then, he wouldn't kill her because he was perfectly happy abusing her.
Yeah. So, Veronica plays her dad by sending her mom the dead fish and all that shit. But what my question on this whole section is, so Hiram doesn't get legally divorced. They just have the marriage annulled in the church. Mm-hmm. How Catholic is Hiram?
Yeah, it seems like he's very.
Like, he's like, well, now at least it's dissolved in the church. And I'm like, nobody gives a shit.
It seems like he's like Catholic, but work for me. You know what I mean?
It's weird, right? I mean, not most people, a lot of hyper religious people are very hypocritical.
Yeah.
But they're not really like telling that story here. It's just like his Catholicism is like a loophole for this plot line specifically.
Yeah, I think it is kind of saying hypocritical because it's like he meets with the Monsignor to like make a backroom deal, essentially.
I'll just get the marriage annulled. But I think also like technically both parties have to sign off on it being annulled, but I don't know.
Yeah, so that's why I feel
I've never had a marriage annulled in the Catholic Church because I didn't get married in the Catholic Church and I never broke up a marriage in the Catholic Church.
Exactly. And we're not going to annul ours, so, you know.
No. We'd have to first get it
acknowledged. Oh, right. By the Catholic Church. Fair enough.
I was like, we can't annul. Well, I mean, I think you can annul it.
Just in go to
yeah. I don't really know how that works.
Yeah, we're technically Protestant, but we here, you Catholics, have a loophole. I don't know what Protestants believe about divorce.
Yeah, I think annulment. I don't know if annulments happen in other religions.
Oh wait, Protestants wouldn't care, right?
What do you mean
about divorce? It doesn't. It's not treated the same way. Oh.
I don't know.
I went to Catholic school. I didn't go to Protestant school. I think
so. Annulment states that the marriage was never like. An annulment can be a legal ruling.
Okay.
That erases the marriage by declaring it null and void. Because you know what I remember? I remember when Britney Spears got married in Vegas. It like 24 hours later got divorced. It was immediately annulled.
Okay.
And so that's what I remembered. But
they're worried about the Catholic Church.
Yeah, this is specifically, I feel like, the church version. So I don't know. So apparently, an annulment of a marriage is like when at least one of the parties believes it should have never occurred. This is not in the church, but you know. The legal grounds for obtaining it vary from state to state, but in most cases, one or both spouses have to say they were forced or tricked into marriage. One or both spouses were not able to decide to marry due to mental disability, drugs, or alcohol. One or both spouses were already married at the time of marriage. One or both spouses were not of legal age to marry. The marriage was incestuous, or one spouse concealed a major issue such as substance use, a criminal history, a child, or an illness from the other.
All right. I was reading off those other ones. I'm like, what did Hiram pull? And I'm like, oh, it's definitely that last one.
Yeah. Well, but I also like they had a religious annulment. I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a whole separate ball of wax.
Yeah, a whole separate thing. So I don't know. You know, I don't really know what Hiram's doing here. I don't know why he's doing it.
I mean, there's still a part like where he is still identifies as Catholic, and that's still very important. Like their family is still very much involved in faith and religion. Like with Veronica's, I lost it. What that sacrament is called?
Confirmation.
Thank you very much.
You did it.
So even
I did it too, but you did it.
I just couldn't remember. But he like is, even though he's like bending the rules, he still wants it to work for him, so he can still see himself, I feel, as like a good practicing Catholic. It's like, again, the hypocritical thing where you don't like, these people aren't like thinking about it that way.
It's very, like, because the Catholic Church, basically you want your marriage annulled so that you can marry someone else without then being like living in sin. Because if you marriage and divorce and get remarried, then you're living in sin, and then you're never good enough for communion and yada yada.
Yep.
But so I don't really know what Hiram's version is, but it has to be the religious one.
Yeah, that's.
But can you annul it without getting a divorce? I don't know.
Like legally?
Like in the church. Like, will the church annul a marriage that you didn't leave?
Yeah, so you're saying without getting a divorce as in legally.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't either. A lot of questions remain unanswered and confused.
You know what we're about to take away at least is Veronica, stop bugging me because this is ending.
And Veronica loves her family, even though they're horrible.
I don't get it.
They're all she knows.
Yeah, I would just
Remember,
maybe
2 years ago, she didn't even know her dad was bad.
Right. I was hoping we'd kind of get to the point where she's like dealing with that a little bit more.
No.
And we still haven't gotten there yet.
So Cheryl joining the farm.
Uh-huh.
I understand why we had to do this. It's crazy to me that it's Cheryl. And like it makes sense because like they have Jason to hold over. Like they have something worth holding over to her. And it's kind of like showing us like how deep they get their claws in if they could convince Cheryl to do something. But it's just like, girl, why?
The most unflappable, not following anybody person.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate, in some ways. But I understand like that's what they're trying to prove with it.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
As we get more of that next episode, yeah.
Yeah. So then to talk about the farm, Betty and her mother. Betty gets the tapes. Alice admits they let her talk to Charles. Betty meets with Edgar, yada, yada. But like the real knife twist of this whole thing is when Betty is like, oh, you do this because you get to talk to Charles. And Charles, the son she doesn't know and could be dead and we know nothing about.
Sorry.
Squeaking of your Crocs.
It's not picking up on it.
Really throwing me off.
So
I
sorry.
was like, what is that noise?
Idly playing with my Crocs. So sorry.
It's okay. The real knife twist of it is that Alice is so obsessed with and like talking to and seeing this child she doesn't even know that she will disown and completely disavow Betty.
Yeah. It's horrible to hear your parent tell you that. You are less important.
You are less important to me than the child I didn't get to raise.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. Charles isn't I think also a difference too is he confirms like probably her and like how Alice living where like Betty doesn't follow what Alice would want. So it's like
Charles
exactly the figment of whatever's saying seems to be more reaffirming to her than Betty ever is. And rather than grapple with the real person in front of you, you take the thing that even if it's fake is more reaffirming to how you're living now, even if it's not like positive.
Do you remember how they actually do this part?
No, I don't remember what the reveal on this is.
I think I do, and I don't like it. I think I do.
Yeah, I can't remember. I had forgotten everything until I was looking up Edgar this time just to see is like, okay, is there any Archie Comics character that this is based off of? And then I was like, oh, that's what they're doing.
What the farm's like actual goal is and
it's
stuff.
So funny, yeah. I'm like, okay.
We'll get there soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this episode?
We hadn't like flagged it before, but I really noticed it this time of like how Evelyn dresses. It's very 70s throwback. So it's like still the style of like now, but like the way you'd be like, this is like modeling off of like 70s style. So I feel like they're really playing with that. The farm is that type of like, like
70s,
like a hippie movement sort of thing, but like the, like kind of like like still playing with like how like dangerous some of those things were of like people getting like suckered in and like, being abused, losing touch with reality, that sort of thing. So I think they're playing with that imagery a lot to communicate like cults and things, in a way.
Which they did when Alice first started joining too.
Yes.
They changed her wardrobe completely. But now she wears white pantsuits sometimes. It's really, the clothing it's not consistent.
No, it's like the white pantsuit now is very, yeah, exactly. They're just throwing all sorts of things in the pot. Like we mentioned, like TV pastor sort of thing. Megachurch pastor is what I think of when she's dressed like that. Righteous gemstones.
Exactly.
And then just when Gladys is threatening Jughead, just a reminder of just like the parents all hate their kids on this show. Like they hate their kids so much.
Except for Fred.
Yeah. Fred, FP is trying to do the right thing. But like how much Alice like won't be there for Betty, and like how threatening Gladys is to Jughead, Hiram, and Hermione, both to Veronica in different ways. Yeah, it's wild.
It is wild.
But that's it for this episode.
Okay.
All right. Let me pull it up. Chapter 53. Oh no, it refreshed on me. A Jawbreaker. It's not actually a based off a 007 movie, but it is based on the 1999 black comedy film with the same name. All right. Turns out it was Baby Teeth that was dead. FP asked for Jughead's help to see if the murderer was the same as Dilton and Ben's. Jughead's like, well, it's all the same, but he's missing teeth. Because like we find out later, well, given the summary, that it was like his teeth were pulled when he was like still alive. Ugh. I hate stuff with teeth. It's rough. Jughead thinks it's a copycat killer because Baby Teeth struggled, but Dilton and Ben were willing. And Edgar tells Betty his life was in tatters, so he went out into the desert to die. But lo and behold, he stumbled on a farm in the desert and ended up working there, tilling the sand.
I asked if that was the Central Valley because like the Central Valley used to be a desert, and now it's farmland.
I'm imagining.
I don't think it's still classified as a desert. I don't know, actually.
I'm imagining him on the desert Tatooine, and he stumbles upon some moisture farmers.
He was actually just like walking around Palm Springs, and then he like stumbled into like a grocery store.
He stumbled onto some nice gay men's home. He then made it his duty to open his own farm to welcome lost souls. Betty asks about seeing the dead. He says they foster an open environment to heal if people open themselves to the process. I'm going to flag it here in case I can't remember if it's later in the things. He's like, we provide by seeing these people, whether it's real or imaginary.
He's owning to Betty that this is fake.
Yeah. Betty asks, okay, but how are you actually doing it? Which is great.
Me as fuck.
Archie tells his boys they have to honor Baby Teeth. Mad Dog comes in and says we'll fight to honor Baby Teeth. And all the other boxers are like, how dare you, Mad Dog? And then when he sees... he says he's going to fight in the Gilded Gloves event, which is a big boxing event that like all the rich people will put on, and like Elio's putting him in. Archie asks Veronica to see if she can get his boys into the Gilded Gloves. Cheryl gives a school announcement of the farm group, and then Tony sees, we get this twice. It's like the group of, it's Cheryl, Evelyn, Kevin, and then Fangs, all wearing white, walking down the halls, like doing their strut. And Tony's like, what the hell? Jughead says maybe Betty should prove to Alice that Charles is dead. Betty makes calls to try and track down Charles is down, the actual real Charles, and see what happened to him, but it's a dead end. Tony rushes in and wants to know what the hell happened to Cheryl. Betty catches her up and stumbles on an idea. She tells Tony she's going to send her the video of Clifford shooting Jason, and you should show it to Cheryl, because maybe she'll snap out of it. Veronica is at the gym and sneaks into the men's steam room to talk to Elio to get Archie's crew into the Gilded Gloves. He shuts her down, and she's like, well, I tried to keep things civil. Dr. Curl Jr. talks about the autopsy, and this is the teeth thing. But he did find something lodged in Baby Teeth's throat, and it's a matchbook from the Maple Club. FP and Jughead visit Penelope about the matchbook, and she's like, yes, Baby Teeth was here with his friends a few nights ago, and Rosemary saw him. They hear shouting, and they find a man on the ground foaming at the mouth with a piece of a mirror in his hand, like a broken piece of the mirror, wielding it like a knife. FP knocks him out, and they ask after about that guy, and I think it's Rosemary, says that he usually takes fizzle rocks, like when they, do their business here, but for whatever reason, this dose hit different. Alice interviews Veronica about the El Royale, like on-camera interview, I should say, which is now Veronica's supposed latest business venture. And it's an ad for the gym, and Archie gives a warning out to Elio that he'll beat Elio's fighter Randy.
But Archie looks so uncomfortable during the whole ad.
Yeah, and he's reading off like cue cards, I think, in the back. Betty visits Hal. Apparently, Alice filed for divorce. She tells him about her seeing Charles, and Hal says, all you need is a piece of granite. Elio visits Veronica. He says Archie has to move up a weight class to fight Randy, and they decide, after flipping a coin for the venue, that the fight will be at the El Royale. Jughead and FP have Martin who's the guy that was foaming at the mouth from the Maple Club, at the station, locked up. He's kind of looking like he's from Twin Peaks: The Return in this. You haven't gotten to that yet, but there's this like whole extended thing where there's a guy.
My favorite thing is that you say yet, like one day I'm going to pick it back up.
I don't know, you might. But there's where he's like I think he's got like a hole in his cheek and he's like has like gunk like and stuff bleeding out.
Yeah, that doesn't make me want to pick it back up.
No. Tony shows Cheryl the video of her brother being killed. And then Cheryl's like, well, that was all fabricated. You see, they shot this on a lot. Stanley Kubrick is the one who filmed it.
Detractors can spin anything.
Exactly. Tony asks if she's hugged Jason. Cheryl says yes, but walks away. Betty visits.
So we take that as a no.
Mm-hmm. Betty visits Alice and asks if she's engaged to Edgar. Alice is like, well, we have a deep understanding of one another. Wink. Betty takes Alice to Charles's grave that she found, and then later Alice says, so sad you won't let me be happy at the farm. And she's like, I spoke to my son this morning. And Betty's like, oh, God, you left me no choice, and puts a rag over her mouth to knock her out.
She chloroforms her mother.
She takes the Franklin puppet. Veronica feeds Archie a bunch of hamburgers to get him up to weight. And then apparently he did make it up to weight by being at 154. So Archie and I could box in the same weight class.
Yeah, I think that'd go great for you.
I know. I'm like, you're telling me I could fight Randy? Telling me Randy's 154 pounds? Alice wakes up in the bunker chained to the bed, and Betty's like, well, I chloroformed you. Betty tries to deprogram her by showing her old family photos. Alice tries to reject the past, and Betty says it's part of you, and you can't get rid of your past because you lose the good parts too. Edgar doesn't see how the hurt makes you stronger. Alice asks if it was really Charles's grave, and Betty's like, well, I lied. Alice says, you have to let me go. And Betty says, well, I'm sorry, but I'll check on you after school. Betty tells the other three about her mom being locked up, and they hear banging out in the hall, and there's a vixen repeatedly slamming her head into the lockers. Turns out she's also foaming at the mouth after taking Fizzle Rocks. FP calls Jughead that he has another one on a bad trip. Tony's in the bathroom when Evelyn jump scares her. The Evelyn jump scares might be some of my favorite stuff this season. It's like, ding! And they're all just like, oh my God, Evelyn. Evelyn tells her that Tony is detracting from Cheryl's studies at the farm, and she won't let her ruin her. And Tony calls Evelyn out and doesn't back down. Bad Dog visits Archie, and he tells him Randy is juicing on some sort of powder. And like Archie's like, whatever, steroids, I can handle him. And he's like, no, Randy will literally kill you unless you take something soon. And he gives him a baggie, and Archie's like, no, but Mad Dog leaves the drug with him. We see Jellybean play G&G with Ricky at Pops. Jughead and FP interrogate Martin. Wait, okay, so if they're at Pops, doesn't Pop know about like what happened with Archie?
I don't know if anyone tells Pop anything.
They didn't loop him back in?
Probably not.
They really should have.
They really should tell Pop to watch these things.
Everybody goes through Pops.
Yeah.
Jughead and FP...
You know why? Because Pop minds his fucking business.
That's right. He knows when to keep quiet.
It's the heart of Riverdale, but it's also, you know what? The hearts just pump.
That's right. Hearts just pump.
He's just keeping it going.
That's right. Jughead and FP interrogate Martin about the... So there's like there's a letter G showing up on all the Fizzle Rocks bags now. He says it's for Gargoyle, and he got sold to it by Kurtz. And FP's like, oh, it must be Hiram. Betty comes down to the bunker and finds her mom burning the photos in a makeshift fire. Where'd she get matches? At school,
At the Maple Club.
Everybody. It's so funny. That was like this underground thing, and everybody's like, well, now we all know that sex.
She's got branded matchbooks. What do you mean? It's an underground thing.
It was before.
It was, but
now everybody's just like, oh yeah, that sex club that Cheryl's mom runs. At school, Evelyn asks if Betty knows where Alice is. She also says they have copies of the tapes. Betty, just in case you're wondering. Betty walks up and slams her into the lockers, and we go, hell yeah. And she tells her to back off from her and her friends and her family, and then threatens to kill Evelyn.
Thank you.
Love this.
Finally.
Tony tells Cheryl she needs her to stay home from the farm tonight and seduces her. Archie and the boys jog and train before honoring baby teeth. Okay, so this is actually the moment where I was like, wait a minute. Fangs is with all the boxing boys. And you're like, yeah, he has been for a while.
Yeah. They kind of just like plugged him in as Joaquin.
He's everywhere. He is boxing at the gym, attending the farm, and doing things with the serpents.
Mm-hmm.
That boy is too booked. I worry he's going to burn himself out. That's too many extracurriculars.
And he's dating. Well, he's married. Question mark to Kevin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't you feel like when you were in high school, you had a lot more time somehow?
Not this much time. You know who you're talking to, right? You're talking about the guy who was like, yes, my Thursday nights are very busy because I'm watching the comedy block of NBC for 2 hours.
My favorite thing about when we first started dating was I was like, wow, people really do watch TV a lot. I've never sat still that much in my life.
Right, and you're like, okay. Oh, we're going to keep going, huh?
I didn't mind it. I was just like, wow.
You watched.
Maybe that's why I'm tired all the time.
Like, I would do things
shit.
for sure. Like,
yeah, no,
like
you were
school,
active.
But like, I wasn't this active.
Well, no. You didn't have this many things going on.
Yeah, and I didn't want to have that many things going on.
When you weren't married in high school.
That's right. He has responsibilities, this Fangs.
Or else you would have had to have it annulled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and a good reason. Yeah, because I also was underage even after I graduated.
That's true. You were a baby.
Mm-hmm. Jughead and FP interrogate the other guy who had a bad trip. Apparently, he was also sold to by Kurtz, but Kurtz was really aggressive about him taking it. If a drug dealer is really aggressive about you, like buying their drugs from him, yeah, probably a good sign not to. They get a call from the Maple Club. Betty listens to Alice's tape from the farm, and Alice says she's afraid of Betty hurting her. Jughead and FP visit the Maple Club. There are some rich kids that were visiting there before meeting up with the dealer, and they said they were all going to meet up at the boxing match. Betty yells at Edgar about turning Alice against her. Edgar says he didn't make her say those things, and Alice is making progress. Betty's like, well, she could have done that at home without giving away everything, and Edgar's like, well, Alice needs the farm. And talking with Charles, that's where he goes, real or illusionary, like helps her. The other people in her life can't help her, so why is this such a bad thing? We'll talk about that more after. Betty visits her mom and brings her back to Evelyn at Pops.
I'm with Edgar.
Why did you just take her to the farm? It's so funny that they have like this
safe exchange.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it Pops. And Evelyn's like, we're gonna take Evelyn goes to like take her back, and Betty's like, please take care of her. Veronica brings Archie his boxing outfit for the fight, all branded and everything. She tells him she's always in his corner no matter what. And they almost kiss until Veronica leaves uncomfortably, and Fred's like, aren't you flying a little bit too close to the sun there, boy? Cheryl visits Tony at the locker room crying. She says Evelyn said I had to make a choice, Jason or you. And Tony's like, well, I won't let this happen. There has to be a way to be with me and Jason. And Cheryl's like, well, if you're willing to open your mind to it. Cut to Tony walking with the farm crew down the hall in all white. Betty listens to the tapes more when Tony walks in saying no one suspects anything. Betty asks Tony if she's a monster. And Tony's like, no, you just want your mom back. Just like Tony being the level-headed one. Like, you're not a monster, Betty.
Like, girl, no.
Mm-hmm.
We have bigger shit to fry.
Right.
Get over yourself.
You see what's happening to these people? Jughead and FP stake the fight when they see Kurtz approaching, and they bust him. The big boxing match. Josie and Veronica are watching off to the side, and Josie notices the new boxing digs and is like, that's kind of weird. Randy takes some G before the fight from Randy. Betty visits
Randy
Hal.
takes some G from Randy.
Randy takes some G from Elio. Randy.
I was like, who?
Thank you, Randy. Thanks, Randy.
I think Randy already took the G.
Exactly. Seeing two Randys. Betty visits Hal and gets him to sign the divorce papers. I spelled it wrong and put sing. She says it's time to...
That's the musical episode we haven't gotten yet.
She says it's time to let her mom go so she can heal as she chooses. Hal asks for a favor so he can come home as well.
No. Never do a favor for a man. That's all I gotta say.
He's a serial killer.
It doesn't matter. Never do a favor for a man.
Fair enough.
I'm never doing shit.
Archie and Randy fight as the G kicks in for Randy, and he starts going ballistic on Archie. They want the judge to stop the fight, but somehow Elio's opinion stands over the judge's. Elio pops his head around. He's like, nah. Yeah. Next round starts as Randy continues to go wild, but Archie eventually knocks him out. Archie notices he's not getting back up and calls for a doctor. Jughead and FP interrogate Kurtz. Kurtz is like, baby teeth was only the warm-up for the ultimate quest for Jughead and your family as demanded by the king. It's time to save the little princess. And they realize it's Jellybean. Cut to Jellybean and Ricky walking in the woods. And she's like, this is kind of weird. What are we doing in the woods? And they turn around and they see the Gargoyle King. The end.
Okay, the jelly bean shit is wild because this child has been scheming since we first met her, and so now she's stupid enough to wander in the woods with Ricky.
I know.
That's not the JB we know. She's a girl boss.
Yeah.
She's not a nice girl boss, but she's a girl boss with a sling. Where's her slingshot? Where's her slingshot?
It is.
We defang women and girls the moment we need them to be the damsel in distress, the damsel in distress, or the victim.
I digress.
Has had too many thoughts.
Too angry. They took away her like child weapon.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about
weapon
that.
for children, not a weapon to use against.
This entire episode is just us shit talking children.
Well, I'm trying to think. You know, I feel like these people watch a lot of 80s things. It makes me think of like Road Warrior, where like the little kid in that has a boomerang. Like they used to just give kids like weapons in
Yeah,
movies.
like a good weapon, like a kid weapon.
Like a slingshot is like stereotypical of that.
Yeah, a BB gun.
Yeah, BB gun.
Okay, so that's that. Now the Jones are going to be on a quest. They're by the gargoyle. Does Gladys know or care? Stay tuned. Probably not.
Right. She's like, yeah, I know where Jellybean is.
She's with the king.
I was channeling a little Sue Sylvester there. Not Peter Gershon.
Okay, so what's happening with G? Because we have a vixen hitting her head against the wall, a locker. We have Min foaming at the mouth. Everyone's going rabid.
Yeah, I literally paused. I'm like, when was bath salts a thing? And I'm like, it was like
before that.
Yeah, it was like 2012. And then as soon as I unpaused, they're like, it's like bath salts. I'm like, okay. So they're just laying it out for us.
I also like that FP was like, Jughead, you got to stop getting involved. Now he's like, Jughead, I need you. Pick a lane.
What's it going to be, Dad?
And then the Jughead's like, it's a copycat killer.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God, does FP know anything?
FP's really bad at this.
But yeah, he was given the job.
That's true. Why did he want the job?
Because then he could give his family a good life.
I guess so.
But you'd think he'd call on his friend, the former sheriff, to help him.
Yeah. I feel like you'd bring Tom back in. Maybe Tom doesn't want to come back, I guess. I mean, and fair enough. You'd be serving under, like, Hermione.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Okay, so then we have the farm.
Mm-hmm.
We have Edgar's little thing, but then we have Cheryl joining the farm, the all-white outfits, which aren't even that cute. They could have done cuter.
Yeah, because it's also being, like, what? I guess, like, more, like, tasteful dress, you know what I mean? Where it's, like, tasteful isn't the right word. Conservative dress, where it's, like, you know, more cover up and kind of things. Like,
their outfits are skin tight.
But, like, in comparison, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, like Cheryl's not wearing like a smaller top or something.
Like a crop top?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what's a smaller top?
Tony's like wearing like pants and like a shirt, and she's got like a
I get you. They try to slap reality into Cheryl by showing her the video of her brother being murdered by her father, and it does nothing to her, which is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
It's a misled attempt.
Is Q a few years after this? Because that's the thing I think of, is like people really reacting to people getting, like parents and family members getting really sucked into QAnon. I don't know if it was around 2019. I can't remember. But that's the analog I see here, is like people really losing family members to like far-right conspiracies. Mm-hmm. It's a little different because this is like a cult. And I mean, in a sense, like QAnon was that without like going and meeting up in a specific spot. Oh wait, Pizzagate was before this too. So yeah, QAnon was a thing. That's what I'm thinking of specifically.
I agree. The detractors language too is very specific. It gives what's that weird religion that Tom Cruise
Scientology.
Yeah, don't they call people detractors and make people cut people off?
I think you're right. They also do interviews too.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I think it's playing with that as well.
I
mean, there's lots to borrow from in the world we live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just horrific.
Yeah.
But we're here and you're here and we're gonna all get through this, okay? Okay?
Making a promise.
Pinky promise. But anyway, so we got that. And then we got Alice, who's like, I spoke to my son this morning. And you're like, oh my God. But we have learned that they're not touching them because Cheryl gets weird about I didn't actually hug him.
Mm-hmm. So like you can see that there's that seed of doubt in Cheryl.
And that there's room for it. Whereas like there's no room for it in Alice because she's burning the photos of her child and memories, which is just so painful for Betty. And then the idea that then Betty's like, oh, my mother's afraid of me and thinks I'm going to hurt her because all she can see when she looks at me is my father, which is wild because she doesn't do that to Polly, who did run away and withhold her children from her mother and do like mean, horrific things. No, it's not horrific. She ran away from crazy people. They're all crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, she did get her mom sucked into this.
Yeah. It's just...
That's the big thing against Polly. Yeah, it's really sad.
It's really sad. And then, because then Betty even views her attack of Evelyn as like evidence of, like, oh, they think I'm scary and evil and whatever. But then at the same time, Evelyn turns around and is threatening Tony. And so you're like, oh my God, no, these people are just hypocrites and you're being gaslit, girl.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pushing on something that, you can feel whatever way you feel about like Betty and the darkness inside her. But that's what the show's playing with. And that's like a sore spot.
Mm-hmm. But Betty lets her mom go.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, honestly, you can't fix them. Just let them go.
Yeah, because that's the thing at play here, that it's like, it's 100% not okay for Alice because it's literally driving a wedge between her family and reality. Like, she's given up all of their things to the church, literally, the farm. But, and like, I think also with QAnon and things, it's like you can only help your family members so far before you also need to distance yourself.
It's no longer safe for you.
Yeah.
And like deprogramming is so specifically like difficult and hard because people are so set in their beliefs. But so then we get Tony in as our new mole. Yes. And we don't think Tony's going to fall for this shit because they have no one to hold over Tony besides Cheryl.
Yeah. That's right.
So I think that is it's interesting they let her join. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they did the same with like people like Kevin and stuff. They're probably not seeing any dead people. They're just like there for the comfort or other ways they're manipulating them.
Yeah. And I think as long as they're going along with it,
if you're not causing a problem, then you are in support of it.
Yeah. And Tony hasn't done anything against the farm yet. She's just kept her distance. And they're like, okay, maybe we've brought in another one.
Exactly. I will say the farm is accepting of LGBTQ people.
Yeah, that does have at least a positive, net positive there.
They were like, you know what? We are not homophobic. We are a lot of things. We are a problem, but we're not homophobic.
We will take it. We will also take advantage of the LGBTQ community.
They have money.
That's right.
Not as
Oh my God, it's the same thing. It's the Michael Jordan quote of Republicans buy sneakers.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have the boxing.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Okay. It's like Tony's like, you can't get me. I don't have enough of a character for you to exploit.
That is the facts of the show. You notice they haven't gotten Josie either.
Exactly.
They haven't tried for Archie.
No, they haven't.
You'd think they'd try for Archie. He came back all weird and confused.
That's right. Yeah, he would have been prime, you'd think.
Yeah. That would have been a more interesting if Archie had joined the farm.
Maybe they are really focused on women for the most part, other than Kevin. But I mean, like the focus really being on the Coopers.
But okay, so then boxing, we are at the El Royale. We got the Gilded Gloves tournament, and Archie's boxers went in. Do any of the other boxers box? I don't know. I don't really understand this tournament. We only see this one match.
Yeah. Is it like... Yeah, I would imagine that the Gilded Gloves would be a big event in one place.
Yeah, you'd have like a bigger conference center with a bunch of rings or whatever.
Yeah.
Conference center.
Not
an arena. I'm like, it's at the Disneyland Hotel.
Exactly. We have this beautiful seating for about 75 and a boxing ring.
And you get a free pin.
That's right. And you get park passes for the day.
Oh my God. Count me in.
Yeah, send me to the Gilded Gloves.
So Randy's juicing on something that makes him rageful, obviously G. But what I want to know is how no one else was like, wow, that man's foaming at the mouth. We shouldn't be doing this.
I don't know why is the judge even there?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, judge, step in there. And then Elio's like, no, no, no. And then judge is like, oh, okay. Well, listen to that guy.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So that's weird in this plot line. What else is weird is Archie somehow eats his way into the next weight class by just eating like 3 hamburgers.
Yeah, he has a lot of hamburgers.
But I mean, honestly, like if I ate 3 hamburgers today, I'd probably like you're not going to gain a lot of weight by tomorrow.
No,
that's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
Like I guess if you like put a lot in you know what I mean? Like you can kind of do it, but like it's interesting.
I don't know what the weight class is too, but either way, yeah.
Also, usually to have that much muscle definition, you have to be kind of dehydrated. So like it's kind of a funky concept.
I feel like I remember people talking about in my orbit when I was younger, knowing maybe a couple people that did like fighting or something, of like hearing people like chugging water and stuff to like have water weight for the scale. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what the ins and outs of disordered eating and drinking to get you up a weight class was.
See, I knew girls and they had to go down weight classes because it was easier for girls to get into the like, I don't know, it was like 105 or 110 or you know what I mean?
Got it.
And because one of them was one of my friend's sisters and she would, like just not eat the day before.
Jesus.
So, like, and I'm just like, I would rather die.
Yeah, let's just give kids
Let's
eating
give
disorders.
Teenage girls eating disorders.
Yeah. And and same thing with men, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's disordered meeting.
That's disordered eating.
Meeting. That's a disordered meeting.
That's what I say every time I get a Zoom invitation.
Stand up in the middle of work.
So Veronica gives Archie a special boxing outfit and they almost kiss.
Yeah.
And then we remember he's dating Josie because I forgot.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Josie's just not in this episode. And I'm like, oh no, they're calling attention to it. They just only brought her in for one scene.
Just to call attention to it.
Yeah. And Josie's like, that's weird. Why are you making my boyfriend like patterned outfits?
Yeah.
And it seems like I saw you guys on TV together.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yep.
So that's at least like the characters are all together again. And like this feels like Riverdale again.
Totally.
I'm like, we're doing the show.
Yeah. They remember that characters should bounce off on each other and maybe intertwine their plots sometimes.
Yeah.
What a shock.
10 out of 10 on that.
Yeah.
I don't care about boxing, so.
Or the raid.
All in all, like not my favorites, but like it was better.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I mean, okay.
It feels like a different show that they're all like, now it's like, hey, Betty and Veronica are talking and
they're actually like friends again.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
It's big fun.
Mm-hmm. And like Tony gets to do something. Hey,
yeah,
that's cool.
Exactly. We're giving Tony a character and a personality.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. Anything else you wanted to say about these 2 episodes?
No, I think we covered it.
Cool.
So, plugs here. You can find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also watch the video version where you can see videos of ourselves at dead_ends on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff on YouTube, and give us 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice. That helps us. Excuse me. You can also leave a comment on YouTube. We love talking to people on there. Or you can write an email to us at deadendspcast@gmail.com. And that can be about anything related to the show and whatnot. And also mention if it's particular, we could bring it up on the show as well. Oh, also our art is made by Vendrinic, and you can find the link to their Tumblr in all the episode descriptions. And then you can also follow us on Blue Sky at dead-ends. And at some point we're going to make an Instagram. Time. We just need time. If you could send us time. And energy, actually. Because just more time is just going to be like, well, I'm tired now. Time and energy, please. I think that's it then.
Well, we don't fit in.
We're not going to fit in.
And we love you very much.
We love you very much. And thank you for going first, because I would have messed it up again.
Yeah, we're going to get through this. All as a collective.
That's right.
The world's a lot, but we're here and you're here. And we're going to survive.
That's right.
We got pinky promise.
Pinky promises all around.
That's what we're doing now.